Let's roll here, Ramon. Week 11 already, so we were well into the season. What do we got? 2 more weeks, week and a half till the Thanksgiving games.
Hey, there's a chill in the air, Holden, if you know what I mean. Right, we've already reached that time. So the field goals are going a little wide, and the turf's getting a little hard.
Yeah, this is fun, man. If you have not checked out Nuke the House, I recommend you do. Nuke November, if you see the code up there in red, Nuke November. You want to try us out for a week? You got 30 minutes till kickoff of the Week 11 Sunday games. That means you get our pre-flop plays. You will get the game plans, our plans of attack for betting live. You'll get our live shows behind the paywall at 1 and 4 o'clock today. We will be live tonight, free for everybody in the first half for Sunday Night Football. Ramon, real quick before we get into these games, talk to me here. What is Ramon up to these days? What is Ramon doing Monday through Sunday?
Yeah, Monday through Sunday. You got it, Holden. I just finished up. Somehow I stayed on the air 2 hours and 45 minutes today, but it was an NFL Sunday. So The Morning Steam is my show. It's on the Sports Money YouTube channel. We like to call it the Sports Money Network, and do a show every day, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. Not always 2.5 or 2 3/4 hours, although the viewers might argue with me on that. But I have a show every day where I preview the major betting card and NFL, NBA, NHL, college football, college basketball. And if we need to, we'll get into a little soccer or tennis or whatever to fill the show. But we don't have that trouble this time of year. So please join me over there, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. A lot of your audience, Holden, remembers me from the old keg days too. I've been around these parts as well. So it's really an honor to be with you guys every Sunday. Missed you last week, brother.
Yeah, man. So it went from strep throat, right when the sore throat stopped, the flu. It was a wonderful 8 days, man. But some of the worst 8 days of my life. But you know what? Today's going to be a great day because we're going to win some money. Let's get into this, pal. Like button would be great. We're going to talk about the Packers and the Bears first. So I'm seeing the total just sitting here, 40.5, 41. The spread is 6. So the Packers laying 6 on the road in a divisional game. Interesting here that Shane Waldron, the offensive coordinator where the Bears got fired, Caleb Williams came out and said that he gave a team apology because the way he was playing. Now we see coaching bumps like the Saints last week actually won a football game after Dennis Allen got fired. I don't know what the correlation is with an offensive coordinator, but boy, these Bears have been a disaster. The good news, I guess, it's a divisional game and these two teams hate each other.
Yeah, if anything, right, if that bump comes, hopefully the offense can get it going here for the Bears. I would expect even against a Packers team that certainly is going to have an advantage against them today, that maybe the Bears offense could improve today, but probably not enough for me to get the number here, Holden. But I'll probably look to go over in the game, and I'll probably take Packers to cover here. But I do think there is some hope. I'm certainly a supporter of Williams still. Not that, I'm not expecting him to maybe even to live up to his expectations, but you need a quarterback in there. You need somebody to do something here. So they got to keep rolling at this point with Williams, no matter what they were saying about Badgett. Look, that guy's been a record-setting quarterback at his level of college, but you put the money in this guy. You're not going to make this move right here, right now. The season's on the line, certainly for the Bears. It feels like in a division game here, so they need their best effort. It's just, I think the Packers right now looking pretty strong. My viewers today were like 3/4 on the Packers here, Holden, but Green Bay's kind of had their number. 5 straight wins here, 5 straight covers here at Soldier Field. So I would just think the Packers get it done. Maybe nothing overwhelming, but I think Packers an over.
Imagine drafting Caleb Williams and then some idiot saying Tyson Badgett. Seriously, this is where we are.
Yeah, it worked. It worked for a few games when they needed, a little something, when there was some other things going on here. But you put the money in. This is what you worked for here. You're still just 4-5. There is still hope. It's just been so dismal the last 3 weeks with this offense, basically averaging 9 points a game.
Yeah, it's not a good scene, no question. All right, let's move on to our next game, Ramon. Rams, Patriots. Drake May looking a little better lately. It's good to see this. I got a little Puka Nacua over in this game. The Rams are 4.5 point favorites on the road. Really? The total 42.5. Wow. I mean, the Patriots are not a good football team. The Rams are coming off just a horrendous game. What are you seeing here?
My viewers today, we agree, right? A little bit. Maybe they kind of flow with me. They don't want to upset me. I don't know. I was said today on the show, I'm on the Patriots. My consensus overruled me. They were on the Rams here in this one. Look, I know it's going to be a hard sell for the Patriots, but I'm kind of, I don't know if you're in that boat a little bit, but I'm on the Drake May boat, at least at this point. Yeah. Rams still going on the road here at this point. Yeah, they're 4-5 Bears, but Patriots just 3-7. We've seen the slow improvement here, it feels like right now. So I would think that this is still going to be a game that's probably lower scoring again. I don't know if the Rams will be able to have as tricky an offense or as productive an offense on the road, and the Patriots really got to kind of throw the kitchen sink a little bit at them defensively here to mix things up. And I think the Patriots are at least decent at doing that. So I think it will be a struggle for the Rams offensively here, at least to get the money. I probably favor the Patriots here in this one, Holden. I'm backing May a little bit. Look, the difference between him and Brissett is and Jones, if you want to go back that far, is his ability to get out and make some plays. And for a team that, if you're not getting great quarterback play, if you got someone that can use their legs a little bit, it really gives them another dimension, another facet that is necessary for a team that is subpar. You can't do it. Pocket passes are fine if you've got a very good team, but not when you have a struggling team. But I like the Patriots here with these points. Holden, I think the move has been slightly on the Pats, right? I mean, it opened what 4.5, 5, even 5.5 at some spots here. So in a game where I'm probably expecting an under, I prefer the Patriots here in this one.
Okay, Ramon, I don't have anything in this next game. I don't know if you do. I don't want to spend too much time on it personally, but if you got some angles, let's go for it. Dolphins hosting the Raiders. I didn't even know this game was happening today. Just kidding, but it's not something I paid attention to very much, Ramon. 7.5, 8-point favorites for the Dolphins at home. 43.5 is the total. I have literally no interest in this game whatsoever.
No, but I think for the concept of our show, Holden, this is probably the only game that we can talk about as far as having some true steam this morning, right? Because the Dolphins certainly were juiced at a 7 this morning. There were still some 7 flats out there, but you're right. I see right now some far away places, 8 and juiced here at this point for the Dolphins. So I support the move. So did my chat. I don't think I could, put it out there as a premium winner or anything. But if I think I had to make a play here, I am on the Dolphins. Yeah, I will bet the Dolphins here. I already have. But I think for me, it's just more of a fade against the Raiders here at this point. If you're sitting here trying to figure out between Minshew and O'Connell and you still can't figure it out at this point, those are where the problems lie right now. And yes, with Tua in there, we've seen a little bit of steadiness, if you will, to the offense here. Those weapons aren't necessarily getting off like we've seen. So it feels like it will be tough to get the number, especially here, Holden, where I think this is probably going to end up being a game. Look at the total has shifted here from 45 openers for the most part, down to 43.5 here. I kind of support that move. I'll lay it with the Dolphins here. My chat laid it this morning as well. So I just don't want the Raiders here at this point. That's all we need. You said don't talk about very much. That's it.
Drop your best bets in here in the chat if you want to. Say good morning, hit the like button, and welcome in Nuke the House, nukethehouse.com. We will have our live NFL betting shows starting a little bit after 1 o'clock, probably around 1:15 today, behind the paywall. You got to be a member for the 1 and 4 o'clock shows. You got to be a member to get the pre-flop plays, the in-game betting plays that we give you via our phone, via live betting notifications. That's the interesting and the best part about being here at Nuke the House. The winners, the in-game notifications right to your phone. So if you can't watch the games, you can still get our bets. Nuke November, N-U-K-E, Nuke November is our code for 1 free week. If you already know that we're great, go ahead and sign up. $59.99 a month. Let's go to our next game, Ramon. I can't believe I'm waiting this long to get the Ravens and Steelers, but it's way down the board here. Jaguars, Lions. 14-point favorites for the Lions. I was looking back on DraftKings, Ramon. It was 13.5 early this morning, got pushed to 14, 14.5, back down to 14. We've got 13.5 over at FanDuel. That actually got pushed up and recently pushed back down. So a little bit of movement here, a little bit of manipulation with the Jaguars at the Lions.
I can only look, call me square here. I could only look to a blowout with Mac Jones in there right now. I hope that Jacksonville maybe can start to find their way here a little bit, but without Lawrence. And the one thing about Jones, he at home, maybe he's from Jacksonville. He had a little bit of moments there in the last outing, but I don't know. The Lions right now feel like, to me, when they can take advantage of some team here right now where it could be a blowout. Yeah, I think maybe we could see a little bit of production on the back end actually from Jacksonville. Maybe Jones will actually end up with some decent numbers because they won't be necessarily in the game, and I think the Lions might be, and that might maybe make it tough too to get the money here. I think maybe my better play might be the over in this game. You see the drop there, and I know it's all based on Jones being in there. We knew Jones was going to be in there, but still it needed a little bit of adjustment off of some openers as high as there were some openers as high as 50. I think most of the late books that opened after that still came in around 48 or 48.5, but we're seeing here right now 47.5. That still feels a little bit low here for what Detroit might do. I would think 30, their team total over possibly also here, Holden, but 31 points, that seems like they should easily I say easily NFL, but to me, easily getting something is if you have a team total that could get to 29 or 30 and you get 34, you've smashed it. So I'm probably Lions and over here, a little bit square, but got to pick on the Jags while I can.
Okay, our next game will be the Browns and the Saints. It is the Jameis Winston Bowl. Third straight week. Third straight game for the Browns. I'm going back to Cedric Tillman. I know guys at our shop are heavy on some of the Browns offense here. The Saints are 1-point dogs at home to a really bad football team, but the Saints are a really bad football team, no question. 44 is the total. Again, the Browns 1.5 point favorites on the road, depending on where you shop. That just tells you how bad the books think the Saints are, Ramon.
Final.
I really feel like the injuries to Olave and Shaheed came at just such an awkward time, with one out, then the other. Carr goes out, and I think that's really affected the Saints. I don't think they're as bad as their record might indicate, and maybe the Browns are better than their record indicates too. The Browns certainly got the public support. It felt like this week, for the most part, we saw the line shift from Saints opening as a small favorite to the Browns moving to the favorite. My chat seemed to support it slightly, and handicappers I follow seem to be heavy on the Browns. Holden, I show experts maybe by a 4-to-1 ratio here on the Browns, so I'll probably just try to tail them behind here and take the Browns. But for me, I'm going to prefer the under here as my play. The Saints offense, certainly Kamara is limited when they don't have explosiveness on the outside. He's not a bell cow type of back, right? I think they need the variation for Kamara to really get loose, and I just don't see that necessarily right now, even with Carr in the lineup. I don't know if I buy into some of the locker room talk that these guys don't like Carr. You're saddled with Carr, there's no doubt about that, but and as far as for the Browns are concerned and what they're able to do offensively here, for me, I'm not sure either team might get into the 20s in this one, Holden. I'm going to take the under here with the Browns and the Saints. Maybe I'm getting a little bit of room here right now with it at 44. The opener was 42.5, maybe even lower. So I think there's some value there. To me, Holden, value is an overextended word, overused in gambling, right? But for me, it's like going to the store. If it was 44 last week or 42 last week, and it's 44 today, that's value. I'll take the under.
All right, my friend. Like button would be great. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nuke the House. If you're on X, come on over to YouTube and turn on your notifications as well. We got a special right now, 1 week free trial. Use the code Nuke November. Go to nukethehouse.com, sign up for any plan. We won't charge you unless you want to be charged. Nuke November is the code for a free week. Vikings at the Titans. So we got a 5.5, 6 line here. Vikings 5.5 or 6 point favorites on the road. This thing I'm actually seeing on FanDuel went from 6.5 down to 5.5 this morning. That's interesting. 39.5, 40 total, but are people bringing the money in on the Vikings? What's going on the side in this one?
Yeah, I'm showing nearly 2/3 of the tickets right now, the public tickets here on the favorite in this one. I can't. I've been with you on the Titans on a few shows with you, and I don't know if it's always worked out for me. So maybe I'm chalky today on some of these favorites. My chat was probably 75% on the Vikings here in this one. And hey, they're still getting the money, even though they're starting to shift to a favorite more and more as we become comfortable with them as one of the best teams, one of the top contenders in the NFC. Even if they're not up there with those top two teams, they're certainly going to be there in the thick of things come postseason. So I'm going to lay it here with the Vikings on the road. Not trusting Will Levis just yet. Hey, I wish I had my own mayonnaise commercial, but right now for me, I think hey, if we can get a 5.5, that's fine. I'm sure you can buy it down and get a little bit of maybe just to lay a little bit of juice, since 6 is such a key number for a big road favorite. So give me the Vikes here. My chat was on it. I was with them.
All right, very good. Here's the big one. Ravens Steelers. Finally got down to this one. This is going to be a bloodbath. I'm looking forward to it. In the last 8 meetings, so this is since 2020, every game has been 7 points or less. And of course, here we go. 3.5, depending on where you want to shop. Actually, you give me that hook. I want to take the Steelers at home. You don't give me the hook. I kind of want to fade it. I have not bet this game yet, Ramon. I do want to target it live, but again, the Steelers are a really good football team, but so are the Ravens, right? Could be a little different game than we're expecting. A total of 48.5. You know, these two teams used to have these totals in the 30s. No longer. But this Steelers offense really taking a jump. I know Tomlin got crushed for going to Wilson over Justin Fields, but it was the right move. They got a vertical passing game now, and outside of the first maybe 20 minutes of Russell Wilson's tenure as a Steelers starting quarterback, he's looked pretty good. What do we got movement-wise on the Ravens at the Steelers?
Yeah, for sure, right? Because you think of Wilson back even with DK. Right now he's got with his receivers here a little bit that so great on that sideline, on that high pass, those toe catches and everything. So, hey, we know all about the trends in this game, it feels like, right? We're always looking dog here. And you mentioned, maybe the offenses, but still 6 straight unders in this series between these two teams. Of course, I want the Steelers at home. I'll rather take those trends that we know are just a fact in this series. It's not even something where you're like, hey, is this trend applicable to this and that? Not with these guys, Holden, right? We know that this is a kind of underdog dominate. Pittsburgh's actually won 7 of the last 8 meetings, but maybe the Ravens have been a little bit better of late. So the Steelers, end up getting the money quite a bit and getting these wins here right now. So that's what I want to do. And I'm going to take the under maybe as my favorite play. I know what you're saying. And yes, the Ravens are 9-1 to the over.
I'm with you on the under. I'm with you, man.
When you got Ravens and Steelers here right now. And if you look at, it was funny, the first few weeks of the season, and maybe that's just the nature of an NFL season, division games are kind of going over. All of a sudden, they may be going under as the weather gets colder and everything. So give me the under here in this one now with this total sitting here at 48, an opener of 46 and a half. That is the value here for me. I'm going to take the under here in this one. And I'm on the Steelers in this one. My chat was on the Steelers. No, in fact, they were split, actually, Holden, but I'm on the Steel.
Hey, Ramon, I'm going to disconnect you here for a second. Just the connection. You got frozen a little bit. Come on back here in a second. Reconnect. Come on back, and we'll get you back here in just a second because you were getting frozen up there. So we'll have Ramon back in just a second. That gives me a second to give our spiel. Again, these two huge games today, Steelers, Ravens. and then the Chiefs and the Bills. We'll get into the Chiefs and Bills here in just a moment. But again, if you want all our pre-flop plays, all our in-game plays, you got to sign up. And it's $59.99 a month at nukethehouse.com. If you have not tried us out yet and you want to dip your toe in the water, go and do it. Nuke November. The code's right up there in red. NUKENOVEMBER. All right, Ramon, we got you back. Nuke November for one free week. I would say we're done with that game and we can move on to the next game. I have got nothing on the Colts and the Jets from anyone in the business this week. This has been the quietest game outside of my guy Tyler coming on my prop show on Friday saying he likes Jonathan Taylor rushing yards. Nobody. I've heard nobody talk about this game. Maybe you got something. The total's 43. It's kind of stood between 43 and a half all week. Jets 4.5 point favorites at home with Richardson now as the quarterback with the Colts again. I don't know how much of a downgrade it is. Flacco really did look like garbage, but talk to me here. What do we got with the Colts and the Jets, my friend?
Almost the same thing, right? You got to play your young quarterback here. Look, you're not going to get anything done with Flacco long term. We know that. I mean, he came off the couch, remember? So you're right, Holden. I think for expert bettors, this has been the quietest game here a little bit. Maybe some with the time change too. I'm glad they flexed in my Chargers here. But for me, Holden, I hear you. Who said Tyler's on the rushing yards for?
He's on the Taylor over rushing.
Why wouldn't you, right? I mean, and the Jets too. They should look to attack with the run. Unfortunately, the Jets probably will forget about that and they'll try to go through the air, and that hasn't been working, right? Because the connection to Adams just wasn't there. 13 targets last week, only 6 catches for 31 yards. That's a problem. So the Colts with Taylor, they can get off. We know the Jets don't throw against them, even if we're going to make fun of Gardner in the secondary a little bit. They do a good job still, even if they're getting away with whatever happens at the, with the bumps and all that you've earned that, right? Even as a young player, but they don't like to tackle. They don't like to get in the way of anything. And why do you want to get in the way of Jonathan Taylor? If he's going to go off, the Colts are going to win this game. I'll probably like them on the money line here to win. The Jets said, really, I have no solutions or answers, and I'm not going to be the guy that keeps trying to go back to the well thinking this will be the week. How many weeks have we been doing that right now? I've got the Colts to win this game, Holden.
All right, let's go to the big game today. Chiefs at the Bills. So this thing was 1.5 last week. Then it gets pushed to 2. Then it gets pushed to 2.5. This morning, I'm seeing 2.5 everywhere. I don't think you can find a 2 anymore. The total at 46.5. This is vacillated between 46 and 46.5. Really has not changed very much. I'm seeing a 47 offshore. So besides for the earlier side move of just a half point, total's kind of stayed right where it is. And all I'm hearing from everybody is the Bills. All right, here we go again, doubting Mahomes.
It is a great argument this week, right? With everyone, that trend. I mean, look, these are the ones we don't have to touch on. Everyone knows the trend coming in, and maybe I've been on the wrong side of some and maybe the right side of others with Mahomes. For me, Holden, though, sound like maybe you're still Chiefs with Mahomes, and I don't want to doubt him. It could be a Bills 1 or 2 point win, and maybe they still get the money here, but no team's going undefeated anymore in today's NFL. As good as these Chiefs have been here, I still don't know if they're better than the Ravens. They might not even be better than the Bills, and I think every team is due a loss. And this, for me, if you're going to lose one or try to pick one, yeah, sure, maybe it could be one where you sleepwalk it through and you get caught napping, but it also could be the one where you're playing the toughest game on your schedule in one of the most raucous atmospheres, in the temperatures are dropping type of thing. I know it gets cold in Kansas City, whatever, but I'm going to actually go with the Bills in this one and figure no one's going undefeated here. Maybe it better be money line. Maybe the Chiefs will get the money and we'll continue to say Mahomes still covers here all his games as a dog, and the Bills still win it. And but I'll go ahead and lay the points, make sure we get the full value, or at least the full return on our money here with the Bills at maybe you have to lay 2.5 here. Sharp books, no, it's 2.5 pretty much all over. I see everywhere. A couple of stragglers here in Vegas hanging out with a 2. But
all right, so we got about 2.5 minutes to get through the last 2 games. Niners hosting the Seahawks. Niners 5.5 6-point favorites. This was 6.5 around the business, so a little money coming in. I would think on the Seahawks. You can correct me if I'm wrong there. Total went up from 48 earlier in the week, now to 49.
Yeah, maybe it's public tickets here, maybe on the 49ers for the most part. Again, this was another one where my chat kind of went against me this morning. In this division game, I do want to take the points here right now with Seattle here. It's always been an okay matchup, it feels like, for Seattle. Yeah, it's been a little bit difficult here in Santa Clara of late, and there's still questions right now going on with the Seahawks, but I'm willing to take these points here right now in this one. My chat was against me here, but again, I think this total could be pretty high actually for what should be a more of a tightly contested division contest here. I don't know if the Seahawks do get all those points and it says they should here. I guess they're predicted to get about 21. What would it be? 27-21 if you go with that spread and total right now. I think they will get the money. So if they're going to get 21 points, I think the Seahawks get the money here. I don't know if the Niners have totally found their full form yet to start covering division games, laying a touchdown at this point. I'll take my chances. Maybe I get that back door if it's necessary.
All right, here's the last one. Right here, about 40 minutes from my house, maybe 45. Falcons, Broncos. Broncos 2-point favorites at home. 45 is the total. I think a lot of people started buying in the Broncos last week, even though they lost that game on the field goal at Kansas City. I feel pretty good about the Broncos today, at least on the money line. I don't have points in this thing, but where are you on the Falcons going on the road with Kirk Cousins against a really good Denver defense?
No, can I just switch to look at it from the Denver? I've been on them from day one. It feels like Holden right now. I think they're always on my card here by the end of the day right now with Denver here in this one. Look, Atlanta's done a great job. I mean, if anything, they're one of the biggest surprises in the league, even if the record is only 6-4. It feels like right now. Maybe some of that is Cousins. Because there was even some talk this week that Penix could get the start or see time or whatever, but it's too important right now. You don't want to dick around with that currently here right now. But Denver, this defense here right now, and I've been a supporter of Bo Nix through some rough patches a little bit. Anything? Look, I don't know if any of your crew went with his numbers over here in this one, but it feels like it could get there here. The total looks a little high to me. I'm going to be Denver and under in this game, Holden. Seems like I said, the Broncos feels like they're on my ticket every week. So I'm going to keep rolling with them right now. And I think the public handicappers, the talking heads like you and me, I feel like they're on Denver too. I'm showing them here by about a 3-1 ratio, preferring the Broncos here in this one. I'm going to be with them here with Denver showing 2s mostly out there right now.
All right, pal. Plug what you're doing. We're going to get out of here. Go win some money today.
Let's go. I mean, things firing up here right now. Good thing they start at 10:01. So check me out over at Sports Money Network. I do a show every day, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific. We also have other programming there as well. We're pretty UFC centric too. It was a pretty exciting card last night. We go with some live coverage, some companion coverage for football on Thursday nights and UFC companion coverage, as well as some other videos to help you along the way. So I know you got a great crew here. I'm very familiar with these guys over at Nuke the House, and hopefully you give us a shot to add to your programming a little bit. We know we're not on 24 hours a day, so please stop by over at Sports Money Network. And my show is The Morning Steam, and I'm working on 4+ years of a daily show on YouTube. I never thought I'd be here, Holden, at this age doing this now, but man, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Let's go, Ramon. Again, one more time. You want to try us out for a free week so you get all our plays here heading into the early slate, our live bets behind the paywall. You got to be a member starting up in about 15 minutes. NukeTheHouse.com. Use the code NukeNovember when you sign up for any plan. No purchase necessary. Nuke November. For Ramon, I'm Holden. Oh, baby. I'm so excited about week number 11. Let's go Nuke the House.